I love Val Kilmer, but I even color graded a movie that he was in, so that was neat.
Which one was that?
Called Pay Dirt. That was actually at the start of the pandemic, and
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I would say if I have any piece of advice to anybody is don't color grade a movie at the start of a pandemic.
You don't say. You don't say.
Yeah, the stress level. I think I had 3 heart attacks, maybe, roughly.
No.
God, it was I was so stressed out. Maybe a breakdown or 2. Don't worry about it; it's not a big deal.
So you actually worked throughout the pandemic. Then you weren't kind of that okay.
I was busy as shit. So, this is a thing that we'll get into. I feel like we haven't even started the podcast.
We haven't.
Bullshitting.
We have
I'm
not.
sorry, guys.
We have not.
Listeners,
but this is what I told. I love this shit because here's the thing. Like that, I don't. This is gonna sound pompous, and I don't mean it to be at all. But like, if they see that picture, a Ghost Waits. Oh, he posted another Ghost Waits interview. I mean, that's they all know. Okay, all right. He's
they're gonna check out. And move on to the next thing.
They're going.
Canada and Cambodia, we see you.
yeah, Canada and Cambodia. I love you. You in the States. Why do you just have to just dismiss
you gotta do us like that.
Yeah, why? So I'm actually kind of surprised by that you have actually been working throughout this because most people, especially a lot of the guests that I've had on recently, with the exception of the last 2, none of them just sitting and just like the Malaysian director who asked me to write a script. He just now finally got on a commercial because Malaysia lifted certain restrictions up, and he's just like, dude, I'm going crazy. I am going crazy. Like, we just can't keep doing this. So
yeah, no, I was going to get to this, but so as we talked about, I have a 3-year-old. When said 3-year-old kind of came along, an opportunity presented itself for kind of a full-time kind of more balanced and just lost the word. But all the time, what is the word? Consistent? Yeah, that's it.
Consistent.
Sure.
Yeah. I was thinking when you said daughter, I was thinking relentless, but consistent sounds better.
No, it was kind of a full-time gig came my way, and so I took that and kind of got not out of the film and movie industry, but got more into more corporate work, I guess, because I was like, I need that, consistent paycheck. I need to have that stability. That's the word. That's the one I was going for.
There we go. That's it.
And it kept me busy through the pandemic, and that's kind of what happened. We'll talk more about that offline, but it was a crazy experience because it was like, I'm gonna go shoot some stuff, and my wife is like, what are you talking about? Like, we're on lockdown. I'm like, I guess I'm essential. I don't know. I've been told I'm essential. So it was just weird, man. It was a weird.
Yeah.
experience.
In fact, when you said that, I just my brain kind of froze there for a second. That would be kind of a weird conversation to have because, like, on the one hand, like, hey, we need to put food on the table, that sort of thing, and then on the flip side, it's like, well, I don't want you to bring anything back home to me or your daughter. Like that. That would be. Yeah. I mean, I'm just single and alone, and nobody loves me, so I don't have to worry about that. But like for you. Like I that's something that I never even considered. Like, look, like when you're
I had to drink a lot of bleach on the way home, just to make sure that I was, No, I mean, at first it was scary. You get home and you take off all your clothes and you throw them right in the wash, and you delouse yourself, and you're like shit, man. I hope we're all good. But
did your wife, like, as you were ass naked in the mud room, did she just throw the powder on you? All right, the front now, powdered you again, and then you sheepishly walked to the shower.
I would have taken that. It was usually just like looking at me and going, Jesus Christ, and shaking her head and walking away. And I was like, what? It's COVID. I'm eating my feelings. You know?
All right.
But,
let's
okay. So let's get back. To
let's do Adam a solid here.
6 minutes in, let's talk the movie.
Oh
okay,
yeah,
I gotta go.
Oh Jesus! He told me he was gonna hold. He's like, I'm gonna hang up when I've had enough, Sean. So
oh my God, we are literally 47 minutes into this.
Yeah.
Okay,
a healthy 35, because we had to get to know each other a little bit first. Kind of like MacLeod was saying, it was like, man, I don't know you. Like, this could have been like an awkward, So you like film?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, right out of the gate, how'd you? You and Adam are friends.
I wouldn't say right out of the gate, but all right.
Sorry, Jesus. So how did you become involved in the project?
So, Adam and I have a mutual friend who is the producer, Chenny. I think that's still her title, and she may have another title included. Anyway, she said, "Hey, Adam's shooting a movie," and I knew Adam, but I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I like movies. I like to shoot them." So I met with Adam, and we talked, and he basically gave me his vision, and I think I got it. I don't know. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't, but at least the price was right. And so he was like, "Oh, you'll do it for nothing? Great, you're hired." No, no, we settled on kind of a vision a bit, and God bless his heart, he had so much to consider and figure out, trying to blend all these genres that I think he just needed somebody to come in and say, "This is the visual style," and he was like, "Fucking great. I can't. That's great. Too much, And so, in regards to visual style, thank you for asking me. You didn't. No, I'm kidding. I'm just throwing it out there. God, I'm such an asshole. I got carte blanche with it, which was cool, because how do you blend all these styles? And after kind of wrestling with it for a while, I just kind of said, you don't. So you just shoot it. You shoot the moment. And so that's kind of what I went with. I said, what? This is me being kind of selfish in that moment, but I was like, what can I do that is interesting to me, that challenges what I've been doing? And so I said, I'm going to try to shoot as much as I can with, I want to say it was a 35 millimeter lens, but I put a wide angle on it just to give it a little bit of a distortion, right? So if you looked at door frames and stuff, I don't know how much it shows up, but there should be a little keystoning where it's kind of like a curve, right?
Yep, definitely.
Sorry, excuse me. And I just wanted to see how much I could shoot in sort of an old style of fairly locked down, not try to make it horror, not try to make it romance, but almost calling back to things like Dial M for Murder, or oh God, I just lost the name of it. Some of the older films where the camera doesn't move a ton, it just watches,
Yeah, in my notes actually, I don't want to ruin my send off to you, but I'll just say that Hitchcockian was definitely in. I think that is something that's very right from the jump undervalued anymore these days. I feel like on some level at least if we're talking like big budget Hollywood films, like we're kind of drifting towards more we care about aesthetic than we do like the actual, telling of the story. But I want to go back a little bit because I was thinking as a cinematographer, it's got to be pretty, I don't want to say daunting, but like, so you see all these different genres on the page, and I guess like for you wannabe cinematographers out there, like you have to, I know you said we're just going to shoot, but like you have to be very deliberate with how you are depicting your, like, you're not going to shoot the same thing comedic as you did in the tent scene before. It's not supposed to look the same. Like, your job becomes harder because, you're working with the dialogue and everything, but your job is to tell a story essentially without words, just with the images. And I think, like, when I hear some of the younger cats talk about being a cinematographer, I almost feel, I don't want to say more often than not, but let's just say 50% of the time, I just think that they're heart is in the wrong place. Like, they're just like, well, I have to make it look cool. And it's like, no, dude, you have to, and maybe it's just an age thing, but like for me, it's like, no, dude, you have to tell a story as if this was a silent film. Like that's your job, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, so early on, I'll say this, the film is not the most visually arresting in the sense of like constant movement and camera obscura and things like dirtying up the lens and whatever with like things in the foreground or whatever, because that's not the point. The point of the film is and always will be the heart of the relationship of these characters and these characters themselves. Like, it had to be about them. So with it being so quick and dirty as far as how we shot it, and how we had to get it done, I had to make a choice between, do I want to shoot my opus or do I want to tell a story that's going to connect? And you always have to shoot a story that's going to connect. If you don't, that's not being a cinematographer. That's being, like a wedding videographer or something. No, that's not to throw people under the bus. But like, it's somebody trying to make a reel, and I'm not trying to make a reel. I'm trying to tell a story. I'm trying to make a movie. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think that's an age thing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I think when you're starting out and everything, like, you're doing it, I don't want to say solely for you, but I think it takes a couple years of working in the business or just on films in general before you, I think, at least for me, I don't want to lump you in the same boat as me. No, I'm dumb, I'm slow, I'm a garbage individual. It took me a while to kind of wrap my head around this, that no matter what, it's a collaborative effort. And I guess like when
100%.
I was working out at Nickelodeon many moons ago, my whole thing was like, oh, this is what I want to do. Like, I mean, I guess on some level, like, cool, I'm learning it to it, but like, I want to.
Do you have anything to do with Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh God, I wish. No. I was young. I'm not that old. I am not that old.
Well, you keep calling everybody cat, so I just figure you're 70. So
no, I'll.
Hey, you cool cat. I'm sorry.
No, and
you're
actually,
trying to make a salient point, and I'm just derailing it with my stupid fucking joke. So
no. In fact, no. Just like for the audience, so my Saturdays were always the same. Most people did Are You Afraid of the Dark, and then, or they did all that, and then Are You Afraid of the Dark, and then whatever came on after that. I did Are You Afraid of the Dark, and then about an hour or two later, Tales from the Crypt came on Fox.
Yeah.
So I would just stay up for that, and I was like, Mom, we don't have premium channels. It's on Fox. It's okay. So I can stay up and watch it, right? But oh shit! Well, now I definitely lost my train of thought.
Good for me.
No.
Go, me.
I guess
you were working at Nickelodeon, and
oh right, fucking Zoe 101 and iCarly, those days. But for me, it was in a very selfish point of view. Not to say that I was like a dick or anything, but I was just kind of like, no, man, I came out here to write and direct, and like, you know, I really don't give a shit what you other peons are doing. And it took, I don't know, 2.5 years, 3 years before I finally realized, like, hey, man, if